Welcome, welcome. Solara here. I have some downloads to share with you guys, and then I'm also going to pull some cards. I hope you all are doing well. I want to welcome my newest subscribers. Welcome to those of you who are also returning. I want to thank you guys for your love and for your support, for your messages, for your donations, for your emails. Thank you for being here at this time, and thank you for being you, and thank you for all you're doing for the ascension of Earth just by choosing to heal and choosing to access your truth. Okay, the message I have for you is once again another message that I feel a little bit nervous about. I've been feeling very nervous recently about sharing some of this stuff. But the working title for this, the messages that my guides were giving me today to relay to the collective, have to do with people who were paying big money to be you. People who were paying big money to be you, and to therefore cloak yourself in your energy in order to try and steal your divine legacy. Now, bear in mind that the true gifts of God are irrevocable. I think that's in scripture too, meaning that your true gifts, your true divine gifts, your true divine legacy can never really be taken from you. Now, people can, distort your energy in order to try and cloak themselves in it, in order to use the energy. But when it comes down to it, they will never get the fullness of it. They will never get the fullness of what it is that they desire. So my guides had me laughing. They said, yeah, there were people who were paying beaucoup bucks to be you and to steal your divine legacy. And when I began to delve a little bit deeper into what it was they were saying, I went for a walk underneath the full moon. It's a beautiful full moon in Cancer tonight. They began to unravel a story to me about the divine feminine. And when I say divine feminine, I want to be completely clear. I'm not talking about gender. I'm talking about the divine feminine energy that all of us embody. Because in order for anything to come into existence, we must have the divine feminine and the divine masculine principle or energy. It's when these two come together that they then create a third energy, and that would be what we would see in the physical as a child. But it's this is just the principle of how energy works in general. It needs a masculine and a feminine principle in order to create a third. And this is a very big message, because right now we just entered 2023 a few days ago. It feels like we've been here for weeks. I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't feel like we're only on the 6th day of the new solar year. This is a big deal right now, because 2023, numerologically speaking, when you break it down, it adds up to a 7. 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. And in the tarot, that breaks down to 2 major arcana cards. It breaks down to the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. And it also breaks down to the Tower, which is Mars energy. But also, because it's Mars energy, it has a strong affinity with Scorpio. And to a lesser degree, Aries. It's more Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio energy, or Mars and Scorpio energy, the Tower card. And the Chariot card in Tarot is actually, it is the child of the masculine and feminine, main masculine and feminine energies in the major arcana. It is the child of the Empress and the Emperor. It is, so in the Tarot, we have the Empress as the number 3 energy. Then we have the Emperor as the number 4. Then we have the Hierophant, which is the union, the marriage, the great marriage, which is the number 5. Then we have the Lovers, which is like the returning to the garden in order to create and procreate. That's number 6. That's union on a spiritual level. And then we have what is born of that, and that is the Chariot. That is what we would align with as children of God, our divine legacy. Now, this is an important thing to recognize, because the entire age of Pisces was about distorting both the masculine and feminine energies, but it was also about elevating distorted masculine energy, what we like to call distorted masculine energy. And to that degree, everything centered around warped masculine energy. We had, the whole premise of patriarchy, 2144 on my clock. The whole premise of patriarchy was built upon this distorted masculine energy. But what we have to really understand and overstand as a people is that everything must come through the feminine. She is the birthing canal. Everything must come through the feminine energy. And then the masculine energy is what takes the feminine energy and actualizes and potentializes it. So the whole point of the Age of Pisces was to keep the divine mother energy, the female principle of God, caged. Okay, and to that extent, for as long as the divine mother energy, the female as God, or the female principle of God was caged, then they could elevate this energy of Father God, but not the truth of who God as a father is. So instead, when you distort the feminine energy, you naturally distort the masculine energy, because even nature will show you that all things are birthed through the feminine principle. All things are birthed through water, which again is a feminine principle. Even the tarot will show you this in its order. So if you look at the court cards, even in the major arcana, it is the feminine energy that gives birth to the masculine energy, or allows for the masculine energy to climb into his position of kingship. It's even why we say, casually in our world, behind every man is an amazing woman, or whatever, because women, biologically, we are a physical representation of the feminine energy, and men are a physical, biological representation of the masculine energy. And this is not to discount people who identify as being non-binary. There's a place for them too. There's a place for you too, if you consider yourself to be non-binary. What I'm beginning to see more and more about non-binary individuals is that they tend to be people who have more of a masculine and feminine in union principle that's already kind of there. But they still embody both masculine and feminine energy. This is really important because this full moon in Cancer, it is the Chariot energy. We're kicking off the year with the full moon in the energy of the year as far as tarot is concerned. And the full moon in Cancer is occurring at the beginning of this year, and it's closing out 2023. This energy is bookending 2023. And the last time that occurred was actually 2020. And that wasn't that long ago. It's 3 years ago. And we can all remember, I think, what that year was. That was a year that began to open the door of the tearing down of a lot of the illusions that we had become too comfortable in, that we didn't even realize were illusions. That was what opened the door for that. So think about it that way. In 2020, the full moon in Cancer was ushering in these energies. So if you think about it that way, and then, the full moon in Cancer closed out 2022. Like now, it was almost like 2020, these energies came in and they were just like, it's time for you to see the truth. I'm bringing it in 2020, and now I'm leaving it here for y'all to deal with. I'm coming in at the end of the year, the full moon in Cancer, the end of 2020. I'm bookending this energy. This energy is here to stay. Y'all deal with it now, okay? And not only that, but we had 2 new moons that are surrounding eclipse season in 2020. So in 2020, we had 4 moons in Cancer. That's got to tell you something, but you also have got to know that in 2020, a lot of the divine feminine energy and wisdom began to rise a great deal. And then what happened towards the end of the year was that a lot of it began to come under grave attack. Okay? This was the beginning of the rebirthing of the Divine Mother in the earth. And she's here now. This full moon in Cancer is celebrating and documenting her arrival here on the earth plane. in you and in me. And they were showing me that, and this will resonate maybe more with those of you who identify as being divine feminines, whether it is that you hold that energy more, or whether it is that you identify as being a woman and you therefore, you know, also potentialize that biologically because you have a womb. Okay, I want to break down something to you that my guides were showing me. So women have a physical womb, right? So therefore we're able to birth physical life into reality. But that womb energy is within us all. Everything comes by way of a womb energy. Whether it's a physical womb, it doesn't matter. It is the void. It is the darkness. It is where everything grows in secret and potentializes and picks up in momentum until it materializes and becomes something that can be, you know, intuited or thought or felt or eventually touched, right? So we all do have a womb, but divine feminines, you have a physical womb. And your physical womb is very, very, very precious and of very high value, because it is by way of your physical womb that life enters onto the earth, but it's also the portal through which souls are able to be transported from one dimension and reality into another through physical birth, but also through other means. Now, because we were never taught who we actually are, because we were swept up in blankets of illusion created by various teachings and institutions that were designed to blind us and keep us ignorant in order that we didn't step into our power, because the whole point of the Matrix was to keep control over us and to therefore force various narratives in order to control the population, but especially to control divine beings. Because of that, we're not aware of this. We are not aware that your womb is a portal. It is a way through which interdimensional exchanges can occur that come from one dimension and materialize into another and can be monetized. Divine feminines, you have been under such crazy attack your whole lives, but especially in the past 3 years, because the powers that were beginning to lose control and access over your womb. I know that sounds a little bit out there, right? If this is brand new for you, it really sounds out there. When they showed it to me today, it was just like an aha moment, but your womb is an interdimensional currency converter kind of thing. I wouldn't call it a currency converter, but it's a way in which things can travel. It's support. Let's put it that way. It's support. It's a portal and it's support. And as, you know, divine feminines began to rise into their truth, the factions that have been controlling your womb energy in order to bring things onto the earth plane without your knowledge so that they could monetize, they became a little bit desperate. And this is why divine feminines, you've been under such attack, and this is why your unions have been under attack too. Not only this, but divine feminines, your energy is also an energy that many have been using to cloak themselves. And this isn't just divine feminine energy, this is divine masculine energy too. But what you have to understand and overstand about feminine energy is that it has certain properties that were wanted and needed. So for example, the masculine energy is electric. It goes out there and it does things, right, in the world. It takes the feminine energy and it potentializes. But feminine energy is magnetic. It attracts, it calls. It's also sensual. It's also it's creative energy. It's birthing energy. It is the root of money energy. Is really what it is. And to that extent, there were a lot of hyper masculine or toxic masculine energies who wanted your womb space under their control in order to take that energy and to use it in the way that they wanted in order to create material wealth, status, access in the material realm. This is what I've been being shown today, and a lot of the time the way they did that was by way of what celestial object is a representation of you, and what have we heard so much about, you know, since 2020, so much about moon magic and moon manifestation, to the point where it's become so like widespread. And the irony is as more people open themselves up to moon manifestation, the more you were being drained, right? The more you were being drained, the more you weren't able to manifest your destiny, because they were tuning in to your womb space and utilizing the energy of the moon in order to create on this plane. And then a lot of the time pushing that into your face. And you know it, a lot of these distorted feminine energies that have been running around trying to destroy you, distorted feminine and distorted masculine energies, the reason they were trying to destroy you was so they could continue to have access to your womb energy, because a lot of them were cloaking themselves in it, using it to get material gain. And the thing about it is that the way they learned how to do all of this stuff is through the societies of the world that are invisible, these secret societies and covens that get together to try to control the narrative of different populations, and indeed globally too. This is why they were able to do a lot of what it was they were doing. But I'm here to tell you tonight that this full moon is putting an end to all of that. It's putting an end to it. The Divine Mother is here, and she's ready to rise again in us and through us, and as such we are reclaiming our abilities through this. We as divine beings, whether you are a female or male, or whether you identify more with the divine feminine or divine masculine energy, irregardless as to what your gender is, we are all going through a resurrection of sorts, a rising again into our divinity as this female principle, this divine feminine energy, the energy of the Divine Mother, the female principle of God, rises up and helps us to reclaim all it is that's been stolen from us in the old cycle. Okay? That's a huge ass download. I'm going to try to pull some cards and see what comes out now. Ooh. You know what? My guides are telling me to go into one of my karmic decks, because it's like, I want you to know that I'm not a person who has my head buried in the sand. I'm fully aware that even as these exchanges are going on, that we're all dealing with the residual energies, because the reality is that many, even though you may be rising into your truth, and I've said this in videos, and I'm going to keep on saying it, the powers that were, who have lived so much of their existence and their life off of harnessing your energy to manifest, they are continuing to do whatever it takes to try and find a loophole in how they can bind you. They are. And as such, a lot of this stuff may not touch you, or do what it is that it's supposed to do. You know, the weapons that they are casting out against you, or even forming against you, they're not prospering. And even when their tongues rise up against you in judgment, they are condemned, not you. Even though that is the case, there's still like, there is still residual energy that you're going to feel. And first and foremost, like, the way you deal with that, one of the ways you can deal with that is through returning to sender verbally. And that's not me being, dark. That's me being real. Energy is all about bringing back balance. If someone's trying to bring you out of balance, it's your divine right to put yourself back into balance. So a return to sender is simply speaking words and saying, I do not accept this energy. I don't accept someone else's narrative that they're trying to use to control me. I will not be a container. I will not transmute. You state what you won't do with the energy. I won't accept the energy. I call karmic balance in this situation. And then you work with your guides. Another important thing to do is to be very vigilant in your cleansing. Cleansing of your own energy, cleansing of the energy of your home, cleansing and protection, taking authority over your energy, taking authority over all things concerning you. Because this really is, it's a constant battle that we're going to be in until more of this, the truth begins to materialize. And this is the beginning of the material reality happening. A lot of you have been intuiting it, feeling it, sensing it, seeing it come in drips. But when it starts to come into reality, there's no stopping it. And there gets a point in this game, quote unquote game, where there's no denying anymore. There's no more pushing. At some point they will have to surrender. And it might not be that they have to surrender, but they will be dealt with. But in the meantime, you are in the, we are in the pinnacle of battle. And as such, we must do what it is that we can do to protect our own energy, our own power, our own magic with a K, our own divine legacy. And as such, return to sender, cleansing your energy, protecting your energy, calling in your protection, working with your guides, taking authority over all things concerning you, doing constant check-ins with yourself and your own energy to see what's going on. Let me tell you something else that's happening too. It might come out here. Is this the deck where I have? I think so. It might come out, it might not, I don't know. But one thing that's very interesting too at this time, and this is a message for some of you because I keep on seeing this meme this week, and in this meme it's like a picture of somebody taking a selfie, and they're taking a selfie with this big ass, like it looks like the devil or like Baphomet, and they're taking this selfie, and it's just like, look at me chilling with the demon you sent me, right? What you have to understand and overstand is that even energies, supposed energies of darkness, at some point want to begin to ascend. And that's nothing to do with you. Everyone's ascension journey is individual. You choose to ascend when you choose the light. So some beings of darkness, they just need to be given the opportunity to choose the light. And so some of them are coming to you because they're sent, but you also have the divine opportunity to help them see the light. And I'm not saying that you will be, if this is a message for you, you will know, okay? This might not be for everyone, and at least not at this stage. But some of you are protected by beings of darkness and beings of light. Just like the creator and the creatress, you have command over those energies too. And so the irony is, the very energies that they're using to attack you and bind you, you have authority over. But unless you know that and exercise it, then these energies can keep on bouncing back and forth. So that's a very specific message for some of you. Some of you, the very energies they're sending to bind you want to come on your side and begin to protect you. Now, again, that is a message, a very specific message for people who are ready for that. And you'll know if you are. That will just be confirmation. Because here's the thing. Every one of us have a different path and a different way of walking our path. And some of us are very gifted in both energies of darkness and light, because we've come to wield the balance in the old earth in order to move into the new. In other words, in the new earth, there will be no need for the execution of certain or not the execution, but the wielding or the understanding of how certain dark energies work, because it won't be needed. But in this realm, while we are walking in the time of judgment, there are some people who are agents of judgment, and they command darker energies for the glory of God. That's not everyone. That's not most people, because the reality is that that in order to do that, those people must be in such a state of balance where it truly is about the advancement and the ascension of the earth and all that concerns her. You know, whereas many people like to utilize dark energy in order to bind and trap others. But ultimately, darkness and light, it's not that there's anything wrong with either. It's how they are utilized and for what purpose and what is materialized as a result. Because just like if you believe in God, you believe in source, you believe in a creator and a creatress. Well, the darkness was their creation too. And some of you have authority. Well, we all have authority over the darkness, but some of you are here to command it in order to bring certain situations back into balance. I hope that I articulated that in a way that everyone, whether whether that's your calling or not, you can understand and overstand what it is I'm saying. Okay, so let me just connect with this deck because it's already a very long reading. Show us what we need to be aware of at this time. At the very bottom of the deck, we have money blocks. So yeah, a lot of divine feminines, the way that they want to mess with you at this time is to mess with you with your money. Because remember I said to you, the womb frequency is kind of the root of the money energy. So be aware of that. Even if you are feeling like you have blocks right now, continue to stake authority over everything that's yours and your divine legacy, because those blocks will move. Remember, we're dealing with residual magic right now. We're dealing with the residual stuff of what it is that they're doing. So the areas where you might be attacked might feel like you're under attack, or you might be seeing this still materialize in your reality is through money blocks. Let's see, what else do you want to share with us tonight, please, Spirit? Yeah, this of course is attack against your sacral energy, your self-image, and your body image, the way you see yourself, the way you connect with your sexuality, your beauty, and how that ties into your own sense of confidence. Be aware of this. Clear that energy away. This is also a big moon because it's a Friday, and Friday is the day of the divine feminine. It is the energy of Venus. So take full authority, take full advantage by taking authority over any magic that's been done against you. And a lot of the time the self-image and body image magic is glamour magic. It's to create an illusion over you to make yourself think you look a certain way, and it's also to create an illusion it's an energetic thing. It's creating like an illusion in terms of how people perceive you. That's what it is. It's casting an illusion over that. And really the point of it is to distort your view of your own beauty and your own femininity. And for men, it doesn't have to be femininity. It could be your masculinity. It could be how you view your own body and your masculinity and your physical vessel. But either way, the point is to distort the way you think about yourself and therefore how you feel. Because ultimately, if you're a divine being, your magic is potentialized through your emotions. And indeed, all manifestations come through water, come through emotions. Like in the tarot, it's the wand suit first, which is spirit. And then spirit hits the mental energies, which is swords. And then swords, the mental energy, hits the emotional energy, which is cups, before it's potentialized into the earth, which is pentacles. So in other words, be very aware of your thoughts and how your thoughts are affecting your emotions at this time. And know that anything that is fucking with you emotionally is probably not you, and it's been sent. Okay, so at that point, you have to clear your mind, you have to come into divine balance, because your divine truth, as a divine being, you were not sent to doubt yourself, feel depressed, feel ashamed, feel any of those things. And the only time you're supposed to feel those things is in order to course correct. Like if you do something shitty to someone else, you should feel ashamed, but you shouldn't live in that shame. It's simply there to show you you've done something wrong against a fellow human being, or a fellow arbiter of life, whether it's a human being, a plant, an animal, it doesn't matter. It's to show you that so that you rise up and you correct that, so you can stay in your divinity and your divine truth and power. The lower vibrational energies are there for you to go to in order to correct yourself and rise back into your divinity. That's the point of that. And your divinity is where you are full of love, you're full of joy, you're full of bliss. You're following your heart. You are embracing what brings you pleasure. That's your divine birthright. And anytime you are living in an energy too long that is below that, you can be pretty sure that it's something that either you are manifesting or something that's been sent to you, and you are allowing it to become real through you, because you are connecting to the energy, believing the energy, attaching your feelings to the energy, and therefore creating from that. So be aware. Be aware, because there's still and I touched on this in another video, the old world, the matrix, was built upon mental magic. For as long as they could get into your mind, they knew that you would potentialize it through your heart, because you are heart-centered beings, and you emote easily, but they also use that emotion in order to manifest through you. This is why they also drew upon the power of the moon, because the moon herself is also a magnet for emotions, okay? And so they could use that to create their reality. And now what you're doing is you're putting a stop, and you're saying, go fuck yourselves. You don't get to use my energy to manifest through me. My energy as a creator belongs to me, and I'm using it to create my reality and to have everything that as a divine being is my birthright. 2211 on my clock. Balance. I'm going after my divine legacy, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. But in order to do that, be very aware, especially on this full moon, of where you're falling into lower feelings, okay? Because that is where you will begin to create situations for yourself that you don't want, and that is also where they're able to swoop in and take advantage. And remember now, like, we're at a space where the stuff they're doing, you get the residual stuff, and as long as you're standing in your divine power and truth, it's not going to really, it's not going to affect you the way they want it to. But still, you're in a war. So it's very important to know the strategy of the enemy and what it is that they're actually trying to do, so that you can be aware and you can do what is right for you. So be very aware of how you're feeling. Cancer energy will have you all in your feels, because Cancer energy is attached to the moon. This is why this is such a big moon for divine feminines to reclaim all of their divine feminine wisdom and all of their divine feminine access, okay? Of course, I've been feeling this. I don't know why I haven't said it before this, but this week I've been feeling this Saturnian magic. Saturnian magic. The age of Pisces they loved this Saturnian magic. And let me tell you why, because Saturn is the bringer of karma, but Saturn is also the hard taskmaster energy that they love to assign to the god of the patriarchy that they wanted you to be afraid of. It's actually very Saturnian, that energy, and it was designed to bind you and have you living in karmic cycles. And a lot of the so-called karma wasn't yours to begin with. It wasn't yours to begin with. So what I'm getting with this Saturnian magic is some of them are still trying to place their karmic debt onto you, onto us, instead of taking responsibility for it. And they do that for a few reasons, but one very big reason why they do that is because we are expert transmuters. Even before we knew we had the ability, we were doing that. And that is, we are alchemists. We can take pain and turn it into gold. That's literally what they were doing with us. They wanted us in pain, and they were literally turning our pain into gold. And the Bible itself does talk about this too in the book of Revelation, if you like in a different way. Like, it doesn't say they turn your pain into gold, but if you read between the lines, like, the Bible is a book that you can have a very good understanding of if you are, if you get, you know, energy, and you get how things are transferred from different planes into the physical. But this is why a lot of you have been stuck in these cycles of pain, because literally they profit off of your pain. And this is why they're holding on so tightly, wanting to bring these energies of destruction on your path still, because they have to get you into this lower frequency of pain. They have to get you stuck in the lower vibrations, because for as long as they get you stuck in fear, guilt, shame, apathy, guilt, then you're not living up to your divine potential. And if you're not living up to your divine potential, then you're not accessing your divine power, your divine truth, your divine gifts, your divine talents, your divine legacy, and therefore they can be the little rats and cockroaches scurrying in to take it from you. No more of that. So, you know, here we go. Spirits of destruction, the same old, same old. I said this in a reading the other day. It's like the same things that they've been doing. It's like they're coming at you with the same formulas, because these people are not magicians. They're not real magicians. They're magicians who are operating off of stolen wisdom and knowledge. And they think because they could read it and they could speak it and enact it against you, and they've done it for so long, they're highly arrogant and they think they can continue like this. But I'm going to remind you that the very magic that they're using to bind you and destroy you is the magic that lives in your blood and in your DNA, and it's being activated right now. And there's nothing more powerful than a magician who's connected to spirit. And they're not connected to spirit. All they have are their books, and their books are failing them. Even their fucking entities are failing them, because their entities are like, we don't want to fuck with you. Let's go see if this light one gonna take me on board, and I'll protect them against these assignments that you keep sending. I just heard that song. I don't know who sings it. I don't fuck with you. Woo, I got a million fucking things that I'd rather fucking do. That's what these entities are singing to them right now, than to be fucking with you. I'm sorry to those of you who have an issue with swearing. I do like a good swear. I think that every word, I think that everything has its place. In balance. In balance. Ooh, that's a lot of cards. Who? Accidental poisoning. Accidental poisoning. Just be aware of who you're taking shit from. Be aware of who you're letting into your home at this time. This should go without saying. This isn't even full moon stuff. This is just divine being 101 at this point. Just be very vigilant of who's around your home, and make sure you're checking your gas and your appliances, and be careful with receiving things from others right now. And if you are receiving things, I said this in another video, you have to make sure that you are consulting with your guides and your ancestors, so they can tell you what it is that you need to do in order to clear and cleanse the energy. So we have here, rich people, sick shit. Yeah, this is what they be doing on the full moons. This is what they be doing on these full moons. Trying to get your riches, doing sick stuff to bind other people. I saw today when I was meditating, I actually saw that some of you had, some of us had our feet had been binded. And I don't know whether it was an astral binding, because a lot of the, like, No, it wasn't astral binding. What I should say is that a lot of the imprisonment energies that we were stuck in, we're not in those anymore, right? But they still try to come in and bind us through dreams and bind us astrally, but it doesn't work for the most part. And even when it does take, your guides are going to show you straight up, you're feeling like this because you just have to kind of check in, and then they'll show you, if they're showing you what's happening, it's because they are helping you out and they are giving you the remedy. But the whole point of binding someone's ankles, which is, ankles are, I think ankles are Aquarius. Knees are Capricorn, shins and ankles are Aquarius, feet are Pisces. So for some of you, it's so that you can't walk out of your karmic cycle with that Piscean energy and the Aquarian energy. It's so that you are locked out of being able to be in your authenticity and your truth. If we're looking at the body, astrologically speaking. But the point is to cause you to not be able to walk on your path. So here's the thing, and I explained this, but I'm going to keep on explaining it because it needs to be constantly said. This whole context, as above, so below, on earth as it already is in the heavens. What they do to you spiritually will play out in real time, but not in the way that you think it. So, for example, they can bind your feet in the heavens, and your feet won't literally be bound. You won't have like material cords around your legs, but what's happening is that it's keeping you off your path. So I don't know who that's for, but it was coming up today. What else came out? We have Mercurial Magic, of course, today. Not today. We are in Mercury retrograde. It's stupid to fuck with Mercury retrograde or any retrograde energy, but especially Mercury retrograde, in my opinion, because Mercury retrograde is how we connect with spirit and the lessons that we're supposed to be learning through the divine. So when you mess with Mercurial Magic and you mess with it during Mercury retrograde, you are directly not only assaulting a divine being, but you are like getting in the way of God. It's a stupid thing to do. But these people are not connected to spirit. They don't know. They think that they are God of this world. They're not. They're not God of anything, because you don't have to do all of this shit to be God. How about that? So the Mercurial Magic, be aware of your ability or your inability to speak your truth. Any energies around that are wanting to stop you from doing that, whether it is that you have a platform or even just speaking your truth in just your day-to-day exchanges. And even with the Mercurial Magic, connecting with your divine truth, meaning the messages you receive and what they say about you, and also your own thoughts. Also trying to 22:22 on my clock, trying to stop you from learning about this stuff with the Mercurial Magic. So I'm trying to stop you from receiving this kind of information that I'm sharing with you, but also absorbing it. Sending you chance happenings and encounters. Be very aware in this Mercury retrograde who's coming into your energy, and question why. And also divine communication and messages. So the messages from your guides. Make sure you're doing a lot of clearing work around your mental energies with the Mercurial Magic. It's again, I'm trying to stop the flow of your communication with spirit. We do have 6th house, which is Virgo energy, which again is that Mercurial energy. You could be a Virgo, you could be dealing with a Virgo. We also have 8th house, which is Scorpio energy. You could be a Scorpio, you could be dealing with a Scorpio. Very interestingly enough, the 8th house is to do with your womb. So confirmation here. The 6th house is to do with your health. It's to do with your routines. It's to do with your ability to look after yourself materially. It's your ability to do that for yourself independently. So this is why they're doing what they're doing with the money blocks also. So be aware of that. And of course, the 8th house is also to do with occult and magic. And so for some of you, that's to do with the hidden wisdom and knowledge that's coming back to you because the earth has released it for you to take back for yourself. Mama Earth, the Divine Mother, has released it for you to take it back for yourselves, and they're trying to block your knowledge or your ability to connect with that, causing a lot of doubt with that, again, with the self-image stuff. It's also legacy. The 8th house is over your legacy, and it's not just your physical legacy, but it's also your spiritual legacy. So there's an attack against that. Of course, 8th house is to do with money, but it also has to do with other people's money. So for some of you, you have people wanting to come in and help you, or wanting to assist you, or wanting to invest in you, and they're trying to block that right now too. So be aware of that. Do your clearing and your cleansing around that. And again, with the 6th house, it's your relationship to the physical aspects of yourself. So again, we have that body image and that self-image that is under attack, or that they're trying to attack with this moon. You know what? I'm going to go into my herbal deck, see if I can get any cards for you. Right off the bat, I will say, oh, I did get around to watching Hunger Games. I did mention it to you guys in that video I did 2 nights ago. It was kind of what I expected, but not really. I found it very interesting. I'm going to watch some more of them. I just watched the first one. I found it very interesting that some of the main characters were named after herbs. So there you go. They were dropping some knowledge right there. Some of the most ancient ancestors of the earth and the most potent medicine can be found in plants. Some of your most potent help can come through plants, their spirit, and their life force. So with that said, let's get into the herbs. Herbal messages. Cinnamon. I love cinnamon. I love cinnamon. Oh my gosh, you know what? I was burning some stuff. Let me continue to burn. I meant to burn some rose because I knew that I was going to be picking up on the divine feminine energies. So I'm burning some rose and some jasmine to connect with past life, and a little bit of catnip too. Yes. And I'm going to burn some cinnamon after now too. But cinnamon is it's beautiful energy. It's all about attraction. It's all about attraction, attracting love, attracting money. Cinnamon kind of raises the vibration of any work that you're doing that's kind of like you're trying to draw in good shit, you know? So cinnamon's good for attraction work and for raising the vibration. You can use it alone, but it's really very good for raising and lifting the energies of what you're already working with. So yeah, it adds power to attraction work. So your guides are like, although all of this shit is going on, and it is going to go on until, like I said, they are forced to surrender, right? Do not let it get you down. Be doing what it is that you do around this moon. Realize, though, that you're not here to manifest off of the moon. That's not the point of the moon. That's not the point of the moon. It's not the point of the moon. The moon is here as a divine beings to assist us in clearing our emotional bodies, especially when she reaches her full stage. And yes, she's here to help us bring our creations into reality, but you, as a divine being, you are the creator of your reality. You are, okay? So yes, make sure you're doing what it is that you can be doing right now to create. Don't let any of these energies make you think that you are like weeks or months behind, or that you are in a lower timeline. You're not. You're in the timeline you want to be. You're just also fighting against shit that's coming your way too. But don't let it stop you from calling in what is rightfully yours at the same time. Yes, we have Catnip came out. I love it. Catnip. Yes. So catnip is all about abundance. It's a herb of Venus. It is a herb of Venus, and it is, you know, Friday is the day of Venus on the full moon, and the cinnamon, I believe, is a herb of Venus too. I don't have it written here, but I think cinnamon is too. So catnip is all about abundance, beauty, love, sensuality, fertility, and divine feminine energy. So very much attached to that womb energy. I told you I was burning some catnip too. So yes, it's all about glamour and beauty magic. So the way you use the catnip is to undo all of the fuckery that they're trying to place on your path about how you feel about yourself, or even for some of you that they will attack you areas that concern your beauty, you know, breakouts, your skin, all that stuff. If you know, you know. Clear it out, but don't forget once you clear it out to call back your stuff too, right? Catnip also attracts benevolent spirits. It's great if you work with cat deities, you know, as an offering, catnip. I just did a post on the community board today all about that lion energy that's here right now. Please check that out. I won't go into it right now. It's on the community board. But yes, there's a very strong feline energy, that's a very strong lioness energy that has been entering my reality and showing itself. And I really do feel like this window between tonight's full moon and the full moon in Leo is going to be very big for recuperating a lot of your lost vitality. So take advantage of it. Make sure you're using herbs like cinnamon and catnip. And if you're not using the herbs, make sure that you are utilizing the power of your own ability to create beauty in your life. I'll leave it at that. Beauty in your life. However abundance looks and feels to you, this is what you need to be cultivating right now, because these literal motherfuckers, because that's where we get the word from too, FYI, fucking the divine feminine, divine mother energy. They want you to be so focused on the shit that they're doing that you lose yourself in it and you get stuck again in like fear. Don't let it. Be very aware. Be very vigilant of the fact that it's happening, but also don't let it stop you from living your life, because that's ultimately how they slow you down. And I say that to you not from a place of like being on a high horse. I say that to myself too, because that's what these energies do to me sometimes also. Calamus root and cloves. I love it. Calamus root and cloves. Now, both calamus root and cloves are calamus is a root, and then cloves the herb. They are here to command. They are used in the shadows aspects in domination magic, which is telling me here that some of you have active spells that have been working against you in order to dominate and command your energy and your truth. But all you got to do is clear it, revoke it, and take authority. And this is what the energy and the spirit of calamus root and cloves is about. It's about taking back control over yourself and over the energy of your own creations and your rituals and your space. Cloves is all about commanding your own energy, but it's also another, just like cinnamon, it's a spice of attraction. It's a spice of attraction. So for some of you who do like burning pots, cloves, cinnamon, great to put in with some orange peel in order to purify your home and to invite in those energies of attraction and abundance. Calamus root, it also stimulates and warms. So for some of you, I feel like this is something to do with root chakra. For some of you, you've been going through this energy of your energy being constricted. And the whole point of that is to mess with your root chakra and make you feel unstable, right? So your energy, when it's constricted, it's when you're made to feel small, like you shouldn't take up space. But it's also when you're made to feel like you can't survive, or like your survival is at risk, right? The calamus root is here to stimulate and to warm in order to help you expand. So cold constricts, warmth expands. There's something about you being able to expand your energy again and to find balance, okay? Calamus is also for protection, luck and prosperity, and it also protects against snake and snake bites. Now I know that well, some of you might live in areas of the world where you have snakes, but the calamus root is actually there also to protect you against the energies of snakes that they would send you in the astral. And they do that a lot in your dreams. Be aware of that. Snake energy in and of itself is not a harmful energy. It's, again, snake energy is beautiful because it's connected to the dragons of the ley lines too. You can use snake energy to bring your whole energy field into balance. It's also connected to your root chakra. But unfortunately, what God created for good, a lot of these people use for evil. 22:33. And with that said, I'm going to bring it to a close because this has been a long ass reading, and I'm going to go and, take in some of the moon energy tonight with my children. But I wish you guys the best. Please make sure to like this video if you're liking my content. Please make sure to chat with me in the description, not the description, in the comments. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and I'm sending you guys so much love. If you want to work with me, please make sure to check out my website and then email me. I don't offer personal readings. I offer personal mentorship, one-to-one sessions. You don't have to sign up with me for any long amount of time. I do one-off sessions for as many times or as few times as you need it, because I'm not here to get people hooked onto my energy or needing me for anything. I'm here to help you connect with your divine power and truth so you can be independent and not codependent on anything outside of you or dependent upon anything outside of you. So please make sure to check out my website and then email me. But I'm sending you guys so much love. Happy full moon in Cancer. I'll see you again soon. Be well.